Joining us now, first in-studio guest of our afternoon special, former BYU national champion and NFL linebacker Leon White. Leon, nice to have you in Studio B.
How are you guys doing?
Hey, good.
Fantastic. Thanks for taking some time with us during an emotional and busy day for you.
Definitely, my pleasure.
When you hear the name LaVell Edwards, what does that mean to you?
Oh gosh, so many things. Greatness. He was such a good person, first of all, let alone all the great coaching accomplishments he had. He was such a good friend and a good person to all the players that went through BYU, and that's the first thing I think about.
What have the memories and the thoughts been like the past kind of 8 days as we heard about LaVell's passing, and we've started to and we'll continue to celebrate his life?
Well, I think of all the good times that we had here at BYU under Coach LaVell Edwards. He made average teams great, and that's what I remember. The players followed him. They believed in what he was doing, and they wanted to play for him. At least I know I did. I put every ounce of my energy into making our team, BYU, the greatest team possible because of what he did for us.
How did he ultimately influence you to come to BYU in the first place?
Oh gosh, that's a long story, really. He came to my house. I remember on the recruiting visit, and he talked to my mom. That was the first thing he did, and he convinced her. Really, that was the big.
That's huge, though.
That was the big job.
Huge accomplishment.
Yes. But he talked about getting an education. He talked about being around good people. He talked about your son's going to be safe, and you're also going to play for a good team. And those are the things that convinced her, and it definitely convinced me.
At what point did you think we can win a national championship? I can win a national championship with this team at Brigham Young University under LaVell Edwards?
It took a long time through that year to even think that way. We were always the underdog, even though we had the great record, even though going into the final game, teams and people didn't think we had the team to beat Michigan. That was 6-5. So there was always doubts, but I knew myself after that Pittsburgh game. I knew that we had the team that could go throughout the year undefeated, and we had the players on the team that were committed to do it. So it was early for me.
We'll get into the off the field and relationships in a moment, but on the field, quite possibly the greatest accomplishment for LaVell Edwards was winning that national championship. What did that mean to the program and to do it for LaVell in a way, who a couple of years before hadn't even won a bowl game yet, and now 5 years later he wins a national title?
True. It was a special moment for him. You could see it in his face after the bowl. He was shocked himself. Really didn't really think that it would come to that. BYU is the team that was dominating the West. We had a lot of big games in the West, but we really didn't have that national exposure. And when this happened, I think it put BYU on the map as far as getting opportunities to play in big teams later on in the future. So, it was huge for BYU. It was huge for BYU's program, and it solidified LaVell Edwards as being one of the top coaches in the game.
BYU national champion, former NFL linebacker Leon White joining BYU Sports Nation in Studio B tonight. We'll attend the services for LaVell Edwards, the memoriam, and this is going to be, from what we hear, a fantastic reunion. We heard from Lee Johnson, your former teammate, the character, Thunderfoot, that over 500 players have RSVP'd for this tonight. What kind of reception and atmosphere do you anticipate tonight?
Well, I'm excited about it. First of all, it's going to be great to see all the old teammates and all the greats that played here at BYU. I'm here with some friends right now, Eddie Stinnett and Adam Haysbert, so it's good to get back with those guys.
Two other greats in the studio as well.
So it's going to be an exciting night, and all coming together because of the love of LaVell Edwards, basically. All those guys are here, and I think there's going to be more than 500. That was just the RSVP.
That's just who signed up, right?
Yeah. So it's going to be a packed house.
Incredible.
It's going to be a packed house. I'm excited.
What are some fun interactions or memories that you've recalled of you and Coach LaVell Edwards?
Gosh, so many great ones. I was a baseball player here at BYU also. A lot of people don't know that, but I played baseball the year after we won the national championship. But when I first got the idea of playing baseball, I went to Coach Pullins, the baseball coach, and asked him if he thought I could try out for the team. So he said, yeah, give it a shot. First, you got to run it through LaVell, though. So I said, okay. I thought about it for a few days, and then I decided to go in and ask LaVell. It was the toughest meeting I had with LaVell ever, because I thought that he was just going to give me all these excuses about why you shouldn't play. You know, the year after the national championship, we're going to try to defend our title. You know, you got to keep your grades up, and you're going to miss spring ball, all these things. And when I went into his office and told him what my plans were and what I wanted to do, and did he have my blessings? And the first thing he asked me was, "Can you hit a curveball?" None of the other stuff. I mean, he didn't even. The only thing he really cared about was, you know, me keeping my grades up and being eligible for next year. But he didn't mind me missing spring ball. He was really okay with that, and he just said, "Hey, there's a reason why Coach Pullins wants you on that team. So go have a good time." And so I did and enjoyed it.
Fantastic stuff. Leon, thanks so much for coming to BYU Sports Nation and sitting down with us and talking about LaVell Edwards.
My pleasure. Thank you, guys.
You got